That's what I do. I can rock the
Okay.
house really fresh, and it ain't no thing with no easy contest. We're fresh, we're bad, and we know we're number one. A Jeffy G.
Well, I'm down on the mic with the awesome tune. Go to work, go to church, and go to school. Well, I'm the master of the mic. Hear what I say. Gonna rock the funky beat to the break of day. We are the We Rock crew, and we know just what to do. Jerry G. Well, he's a T to the E double R. The Y. He's turned it up.
I love to get these records on, man.
We are the We Rock crew, and we know
Johnny K in here, of course. And I am super happy to be joined by my brother, DJ Terry T. How's it going, man?
What's up, Diamond K? How you doing today, good brother?
Oh, can't complain. I'm in here listening to music, and I lost track of everything. I'm glad that you took some time to chop it up with me. And so I had that record on. You heard that rockin' fresh. When you hear that song, what comes to mind when you hear a classic record like that?
Oh man, so many memories, man. The practice sessions, the gratitude from the people, being waiting backstage while Mac James is introducing us to thousands of people as we are about to approach our climax into a concert. The hard practice sessions, the unity that Baltimore hip hop community had at the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, so many great memories come. You know, when I heard music such as Al's and other hip hop artists of the past.
Yeah. So when you talk about the past and the early days, like what was it about the music? What got you into DJing?
It was actually my cousin. He was from New York, and he introduced me to this sound, man, that I never heard before. This wicked. And it was like a rhythm to it. While the people were dancing, and I was just amazed of the art, something I never heard before. And my mother, she was always into James Brown, and she loved dancing to James Brown. So I started experimenting, on my mom's component set with the James Brown in it. Wicked.
Yeah, doing the scratching. And so we talking about at this time, these are straight arm turntables, right? These are not the curved arm ones. These are straight arm turntables.
Straight arm.
No pitch control, right?
No pitch control. It was a component set.
Yeah. Record on top. Yeah, I remember it well. Same way I started. And then so did you have like the time when you're doing parties in the neighborhood?
Absolutely. And it's funny you say that because it's like every neighborhood was my neighborhood at that time. Oh man, people would throw parties and just just invite me to come along with the We Rock crew. So it was like every neighborhood, man. At that time, house parties were like a quarter to get in. And man, it was just an awesome time to be alive, man. Such moments.
Yeah. How did you meet the other guys in the We Rock crew?
So Jeffrey was from Murphy Homes Projects. I'm from McCullough Homes. And I used to watch Jeffrey play basketball sometime at the recreation center. And, Jeffrey told me one day, he's like, man, I could rap. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah. So he started, well, first and foremost, before it became a We Rock crew, I had this guy rapping for me named Daryl. And I was looking to get 5 MCs, right? Like the Grandmaster Flash type of theory. And that's when Jeffrey told me that he could rap, and I would listen to Jeffrey rap. And there was another guy named Super C. God bless his soul, he passed on. It was him, and then it was a couple more other people. So needless to say that everybody else didn't make the cut, but Jeffrey G did.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey, man, he just had this inspiration about him that it was God sent, man. You talk to Jeff, you gotta be prepared to listen. You ask Jeff a question, he take an hour answering it.
Yeah. He definitely had information to give, and I had some really good conversations with him over the years,
right,
as well. So, with the experience with the We Rock crew and the just the energy that you got from here in Baltimore. I'm a kid at the time, but I definitely remember, just the energy and us having our own group. You know what I mean? Because other cities, New York had theirs, and
right,
y'all were ours. You know what
right,
I mean? As well as
right,
the New Yorks too, and you know what I mean. So it was definitely me being a fan, and I'm not even doing music at this time, or I'm just a fan at this point. When you're talking about, but it was definitely a good energy, and just like a sense of pride for the city, and it really paved the way. So I definitely want to salute you on that, and the other guys. It just definitely paved the way for a lot of the rappers and DJ crews that have come since then. You know what I mean? And so what now inspires you to stay in the game? You are definitely heavy in the party scene and the promoter side. You being involved in hip hop, in the hip hop scene, the party scene here early, like what inspires you to keep going now?
And man, that's a great question. That's a great question. And it may sound amazing, and it may sound a little awkward. What inspires me more than anything is the disunity of the culture right now. Because when I was on the scene, it wasn't like that, man. It was so much unity, man. You can walk into a person party and they, hey, come on, man, get on the set. It's not like that now, man. I don't know what has happened to the community, as the DJs and the MCs, man. It's sad, and I know I have something to offer, right? And the first thing I have to offer is that we're more alike than indifferent,
Yeah.
right? And I'm here to stand up for the underdogs, for those who feel like they can't do it. Nobody's giving them a shot. I believe that you are your own brand.
I
And
agree.
you're only exactly, and you're only going to be as remarkable as you make yourself. I've been gone diamond like 27 years, man, and I come back and no one puts me on their parties, and I don't say that in malice or nothing. I say that to inspire others that you could do it. You could do it. I come back giving people jobs. And it's not about me. I hope that I am showing the other DJs, right, that we are more stronger together, because the more DJs I put on my platform, the more the more that we are able to serve the public as one.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think you were going to say that. But I'm glad that you did, though. I'm glad that you did, because it is important to talk about this, because what you're saying is true. Our town is very cliquish. I mean,
Yes.
if you're not in the in crowd, then you may feel like you on the outside, and that people kind of looking over their shoulder trying to keep you out of thing. I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about everybody. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah. But see,
yeah,
I particularly don't feel like that. I never felt like that. I never felt like I'm being like left out. I don't feel like that because I know my love for the music is bigger than the music, man. It's something that's greater than all of us, man. That is being instrumental in what I do.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a special person, man, to perform in front of thousands at the Baltimore Arena, and you don't get paid, and you come back the next time still doing it again.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's the love.
Yes, and when I heard DJs who constantly say how much they had love for the music, it makes me look at them a little sideways because love is an action word, and when you have love for something, you ain't got to tell nobody. They gonna connect with it because what comes from the heart goes to the heart. You know, so I definitely don't feel like I'm being left out. You know, I feel like I'm being the glue here. You know, that I am adding people. You know.
Yeah, but so like yourself, somebody who already has had major success, right? And then you coming back, most people like that's coming up, like somebody that may consider themselves to be an underdog didn't have the resume that you have. So they're not gonna have the level of confidence in themselves when, you know, some people exclude them from stuff or don't let them or give them a shot. But I really like the way that you, even after all that you've done, you've rubbed elbows with, you know, legendary people outside of the town, and for you to still even consider yourself in the somebody that represents the underdogs, I definitely salute you on that. And I guess I haven't talked about this before, but I felt that before. I felt like I felt like I had to make my own way because, you know, maybe some folks don't maybe identify with me or maybe think I'm not approachable or whatever for whatever reason, and I'm kind of like just had to do my own thing. You know what I mean? And so I definitely can agree. I mean, understand that. I can definitely understand that. And a lot of times people get angry or they'll get mad or bitter at whoever when they can take that as an opportunity to create their own lane. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So have you ever pulled up? And I guess you ain't got to put no names out there, but have you ever pulled any people up about this lack of unity and tried to, you know, get things moving in a better direction?
So I have mentioned it, and I have mentioned it numerous of times because I only remember the culture as when I left it. So when I came back and I seen it different, you know, me being a cornerstone of this cement block, I felt like I had a voice, right? Definitely. And so when I utilized my voice, the narrow minds shut, right? So I know that, like I say, the love I have for what's happening here is bigger than all of us. I utilize my platform, right? Because I believe, right, that this thing that's called love is done by attraction rather than promotion. So for those who don't see and those who don't heard, maybe they recognize it, you know, in some shape, form, or fashion. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I mention it, and the people turn around and say that I'm hating, and it loses me, right? And it don't bother me. What it does is that it makes me continue to reach out to the DJs who are not being put on, right? And put them on a platform to let them know that you are worth it and that you got to know your own value.
Definitely. That, like, your energy is so positive, and I definitely sometimes I think that I am myself guilty of kind of like going in a little corner, in a little box, and just kind of staying there and just and maybe not reaching out to folks as much as I should or as much as I could. And I know everybody, you know what I mean? But it's just for whatever reason kind of get stuck in a pattern. I definitely, you know, when you have stuff going on, please let me know. I want to start coming out to some stuff. I want to start promoting and us working together. And I agree with everything that you said. You know what I mean? And I know that I myself can do more in that regard too. You know, helping others, helping the generation behind us, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I definitely want to do more of that. Definitely, I've been guilty of just kind of being in that little box my own self. So we're talking about that. Like, what do you have currently going on? What is in the works right now for Terry T Productions?
Oh man, so Terry T Productions, August 13th, right? I was told by the stadium authorities themselves that I am the first nightlife promoter to ever do an event at M&T Bank Stadium on the level that I'm doing it. And that's happening August 13th at M&T Bank Stadium. It's called the Citywide All-White Affair.
Oh wow, that's major. That's major. So what exactly is going down? Tell us more.
Man, so what happened was I put together this event, the Citywide All-White Affair. And when you hear Citywide, it sounds grand in my mind.
Yeah.
So as soon as so what I usually do, Diamond, before I actually bring a party about, I let the people kind of in their own way tell me, should I go with it or should I not? And when I first mentioned it and put it out on social media, the response was so amazing. To the venue that I had, the ticket sales was almost greater than the capacity. So I had to find myself a venue that was large enough that could fit the Citywide All-White Affair into it. And I looked different places. I contacted different venues. As a matter of fact, the convention center was one. I was ready to take it there. And a little bird came past my ear and said, look into M&T Bank Stadium.
Wow.
So I took heed. I called the stadium. They was a little like half stepping a little bit, so they did their homework on me. They really did their homework on me. And once they concluded, I guess, their own investigation, they welcomed me with open arms, man. They even offered me another date if I want to do something in the near future. But this event, man, like I say, every event I always showcase a new DJ. On this event, it's a guy. He never did an event on no one's platform yet. His name is DJ Dre Hart. He will be definitely showcase his family, his friends, a lot of people from Philadelphia, the place where he resides now, man, they are responding in such an amazing way. And he's been surrounded, man, by other Baltimore legendary DJs such as Tommy Davis, Kenny K, Sean Marshall, DJ Booby, myself. I also have April Watts hosting. I have MC Natural, which is part of Terry T Production. She's hosting Dollar Bill, as well as Ryan and Line. And in my mindset, whenever you become a promoter or DJ, and those words or letters in front of your name, you become what they call a public servant.
Yeah. Public
servant. It's no longer about you, right? And so I put together these events for the people. For the people. And we're going into that stadium, man. We're going to make history together on a grand scale. Grand scale. And man, I shower the people with love, man. I can't honor them enough along with God, because it's so many people, man, who try to make a comeback after 30 years. It's not even that long. And it doesn't reach such a level.
Yeah, definitely.
And it doesn't reach such a level. So I don't take none of this for granted. And I know that I'm on a mission that's bigger than the music. And my mission, I believe, is bringing people together. And it's been happening. It's been happening,
Yeah, that's an amazing thing. And I think that one of the big reasons why you've had the success that you've had even after time away, is that you have embraced, when things change, and a lot of times, some of the OGs, remember how things were, or maybe the tools, maybe the turntables, everything, like the way that we play the music, the
Right.
songs we got to play, all, whatever, what I mean, and you've been somebody that embraced it. Do you think that it's easier now, I guess, with the with the laptops and controllers? Is it easier now, or was it easier with the 1200s and the crates of records?
Well, it's easier now, a lot easier. Everything is just a touch of a button.
Right.
Them records, man, you got to look through the crates. You got to be able to find the break. Here, everything is marked. Touch this button. That's the break. Let me find this record. You find it in seconds. But what makes it different is your creativity. And I try to tell the DJs this, because our culture, man, is so selfish to the point where we have love for the music, but we don't share the music, right? And when a DJ lets me see that he's afraid to share music, it lets me know that he's limiting his creativity. Because it ain't what you play, it's how you play it. And it always has been like that. What makes us separate is our creativity. You got the same carpenters who got the same tools, but they build different houses.
Right. Right. But I mean, you remember when some DJs would cover the labels on their records, so you couldn't see the name. You could look. Sometimes we could look and say, okay, that's on such and such record company, and the color of the record or whatever. Some DJs would cover their labels so DJs couldn't see, different things like that. And I guess the mindset is they want to be different, quote unquote. They want to be different, but
all different.
Yeah, but that's not the right way to do it. Like you said, it's with the creativity, how you play it, what you play, how you play the break, what you mix the break with. Just a lot. There's a lot of different things. The speed that you play the music at. There's so many different ways to show your creativity. Because once you have a hit record or a record that people like, people gonna ask for that song, even at another party. You know what I mean? And so that is something that definitely I noticed, especially in the '90s when Baltimore club music was really building. You would have people that wouldn't want certain people to have the song. You know what I mean? Like a song would be a hit, but they wouldn't want other people to have it. I never understood that. You know what I mean? I never understood that. But I guess we gotten past that to a point, because you can pretty much get your hands on whatever you need to get your hands on now, like you said.
Shazam it.
Touching a button, you know what I mean? But So I definitely don't miss carrying the records, but what I do miss about that time, and I hadn't really thought about it until you said it. Unity has come up multiple times in this conversation. And I think there wasn't more of a camaraderie when we had records. We had to go to stores to buy them. We were forced to talk to each other more, even as DJs. You know what I mean? I got to go to such and such, get this record. I gotta go to Bernie. I gotta go to wherever. And, we would meet up. We would see each other. We all digging in the crates trying to find something. And it was more of that. So now with the internet being how it is, we may not talk to different people as much, because you don't have to see them per se. You know what I mean? Unless you go out and you purposely try to see somebody a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah. So. Does it bother you though when folks are in the party with their phone and you're going live or whatever, maybe not dancing as much as they used to?
Not at all. No, it doesn't. I allow people to be who they are.
Yeah.
Man, when I'm DJing, I could be the only person dancing, but I'm enjoying myself. It's a moment, man. You gotta understand that when I'm in a zone, it's a freedom that's on a level that's above freedom. It's a freedom that's priceless. And I never thought that I will get back to that, man. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been in dark places, man.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in dark places, man, and I don't take this for granted. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man, I made some bad decisions, man. I made some bad decisions in my past, man, and God been right there with me the whole time, man. The whole time, and I apologize for getting a little emotional, but
No, it's all right.
it always happened when I reflect back, man.
Yeah.
And that's why I want people to know, man, that don't never feel like you can't do it. Don't never feel alone, man. It's in you. Everything you need is in you.
Yeah.
That's all you
I
gotta do
agree.
is look within, man. Look within, you know, and man, I tell you, man, my downfall, man, has really, really, really brought about a level of gratitude within me, man, that's out of this world. So, man, in that moment that you're speaking about, when other people ain't dancing or whatever, I celebrate that moment. Because it was once upon a time, I wasn't even existing in the moment.
Yeah. I tell people all the time that music saved my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I grew up Baltimore Hilton, and I'm like one of the only folks from the neighborhood that made it. That I know. Like I have like a small group of people that I know, but the majority, the influence in my neighborhood was very bad.
Mm-hmm.
But music was what kept me on the path. It gave me something to focus on when I could have been focusing on other stuff.
Yes, sir.
That was right there. You know what I mean? That was right there. You know what I mean? And you know how them 80s was. You know what I'm saying? The 1980s was a different time. And so the music is what kept me on, with something positive to focus on. So I definitely understand that, and I have that same kind of relationship with it as well. So just a couple more things before we get out of here. So let's say that you at a party and you at a multi-age party, like a family reunion or wedding reception.
Okay.
What is it? And you need the people to get on the floor. What's the first record that you're gonna go to get them on the floor?
Multi-age.
Yeah.
I can go to Funk Box. I can go to Set It Off. I can go to Scola.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Raw Lee got a lot of hits out. I can go so many places, but I would have to see the energy. If you understand what I'm saying, I had to see the energy that's in the room, and once I see it, I know exactly what records to inject into that energy to make it more energized.
Definitely. And I love having a conversation with a DJ because we can talk about things that the average person doesn't even understand. You know what I mean? How many times have you gone to an event? So you know how you'll kind of know what you're going to do in your head before you get there. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you get to the party and that's not going to work. And you got to completely change what you thought you was going to do based on, like you said, what you see from the crowd.
So at that point is where it's called your greatness kicking in. Your greatness is your creativity.
Yeah.
At that time, you become creative. And when you have made enough errors, through your trials and tribulations in reference to the music, you're not scared to be creative. So now I start trying stuff. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this. And so when I start catching a niche, I start easing other stuff in to see how I respond to it, letting them heard.
Have you ever tried something new at a party? Have you ever played a record at a party that you didn't know how they were going to react before you played it?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. All the time.
Now, a lot of people don't like to do that. A lot of people don't like to take them chances at a party. I'm definitely not scared to take chances. Have you I'm sure this probably happened to you, but you've ever played a record and the crowd rejects it and you see it immediately?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what do you do in that situation? Do you take the record all, like, what do you do in that situation? So the crowd is dancing, you play something and they don't like it.
So me, and I'm not even a microphone guy. In that instance, right? If it's a bar available, I'll start verbally promoting the bar.
Ah, that is so smart. I never thought of that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, take their mind off of that.
Right.
And then you queuing up the next record and you gonna change it up.
Exactly. So I would go ahead and let it down play. I'll promote the bar, and in those people's mind, that's a good idea. I don't know what he's playing, but that's a good idea.
That is brilliant. I love that. That is brilliant. See, that's what I'm saying. And I've been doing parties a long time too, but I just never even thought about that. That's. It seems so obvious. I should have thought about that. I love that. One time I played. To this day, I don't play this record. I don't even know why I played the record. This is in the '90s, and I played Ghetto Superstar, right, in the party. I don't know why I did it. The record was relatively new at this point in time, right? So we talking about the late '90s. I played it at the Tunnel, and they rejected it. Right, like the crowd just stopped and turned to the DJ booth. But luckily, I had something ready, and I didn't panic. But I didn't mess up. But in my mind, I was panicking, and I dropped like a No Limit record like right after that, and did it almost like I was joking around, but. I seriously played the record, but they didn't like it. And I said I'd never play this record again. But it's just one of those things. Any record come to mind is a record that you don't personally like, but you have to play the record?
Any record with curse music in it. So you gotta remember, I'm an '80s baby, man. I was raised doing I came into music like doing The Message. And stuff like that. So it's a lot of this trap music that I personally don't approve of, but I had to play it because that's the audience that's in front of me.
Right.
Would I play it in my house for my kids? No.
Right.
For my grandkids? No. But I understand that's the world we live in. So if I can find it clean, then I'll play it clean. But records, man, send so many condescending messages and stuff like that, man. That, sometimes, like I say, man, when you put the name DJ or promoter in front of your name, you're a public servant. So sometimes you gotta watch what you're serving the people, man.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to you.
It absolutely does. And like you said, it's like there's so much in that music, and people are paying attention to it, and whether they realize it or not, it does have an effect on them. It doesn't affect everybody the same way, but those subliminal messages do get in their minds, and I definitely know what you mean. And as I've gotten older, I've seen that more. You know what I mean? When I was in my 20s, I ain't paying no attention to it. It ain't matter to me. Whatever, but you can definitely see now that people are affected by it.
And not only that, if you're doing a party and it's a trap party, it's a hybrid situation.
Yeah,
it's high risk.
Yeah,
because the people are listening to these lyrics and they singing along with it. Hello, and this and that. So it's high risk. And versus an R&B or a house party or club party,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but like you said, is the time that we live in, and that it is what it is. As far as that go, and then even going back to the '80s, they said that the hip hop was a fad. They didn't like it. The mainstream public looked down on it. Did you think going back to the age you were talking about the message and just that the break dancing and graffiti and everything that was happening at that time. Did you think that 40 years later it would still be a thriving thing and the dominant music? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
But it's still here and it's still going strong and you here and you still going strong and that is all is all good. Definitely, you're right. The man above. So you talked about it. The Citywide all white affair Saturday, August 13th at M&Bank Stadium, Upper North Club level. Of course, it is 1101 Russell Street in downtown Baltimore. That's a big deal, and I'm definitely happy for you. I'm gonna be promoting that, and anything else that you got going on. And anytime you need me, you got my number. I'm just a phone call away.
My man. I appreciate that, Diamond, and thank you for bringing me on.
Absolutely.
I love everything you're doing, man. It's just so positive. Well, you always had that energy from back when I used to see you up at what was the name of that mall up there off of Baltimore, Washington?
Oh yeah, Westbury Mall. Yeah.
So I knew it was I knew it was something special about you way back then, man. As a matter of fact, I remember it was you and Kenny B.
Yep.
And I still do the same thing today. Back then, you two guys told me to get Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. I remember that conversation.
I do too. Yeah. I mean, Kenny, I don't get to talk about Kenny as much as I need to, but Kenny was so instrumental in my career. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kenny is the one who taught me how to mix. Well, taught me how to blend. I used to carry Kenny's records. One other thing that we don't talk about enough is the paying dues part.
Woo!
People got to pay dues, right? So I don't talk about this a lot, but I used to carry Kenny's records in the club. I used to carry speakers in the club. I used to set up the equipment. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that's missing now that has to happen. That I really it's you're exciting. It's humbling, but it's something that you need to do. It's part of the process. You know what I mean? It's part of the process.
Yeah.
And I was just happy to be there. You know what I mean? And then gradually he would let me mix early in the party before people really got in there. You know what I mean? Just get my feet wet, hearing what I'm doing out the speakers. You know what I mean? And then gradually that turned to me opening up for him, and then gradually it started to expand from there. But yeah, definitely. I definitely cannot thank Kenny enough. I always have positive things to say about Kenny.
Definitely a great brother.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, Citywide all white affair. I love the way that sounds. You know what I mean? It sounds big. It sounds big, and it's August the 13th. Folks can get tickets and all of that now. What's your social media?
So on Instagram, it's DJ Terry T.
Mm-hmm.
And on Facebook, it's Terry T. And also on Facebook it's Terry T Productions.
Yep. And the website too. So perfect. So like I said, anytime you need me, you just holler and I will be there. And anything you got going on, please let me know, and I will definitely share with my audience and everybody.
So I might be reaching out to you like sooner than later.
Okay.
I am right now in the process where I'm putting together the very first We Rock Crew reunion.
Wow.
So I'm in negotiations right this minute with LL Cool J and Salt and Pepper. So wow. It's coming.
Okay, well, like I said, anything I can do, you let me know. Don't hesitate to, whatever it is.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you. The legendary DJ Terry T. You have been an inspiration to me and more people than you know. And I'm sure that you don't hear it enough because you can't talk to everybody in the damn city. But a lot of people look up to you. Everybody loves a comeback, and your comeback has been amazing, and your journey is still going on. Absolutely. Man above. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, man. Have a good one, and thank you again for having me on.
Absolutely.